learned about the 4 different types of propositions. Now we will get to observe some interesting logical relations that exist among them. The relations are as follows. First, contradictory relation, when the truth of one proposition implies the falsity of the other, and vice versa, meaning that 2 propositions can never have the same truth value. Second, contrary relation, when 2 propositions cannot both be true at the same time, although they can both be false. 3. Subcontrary relation, when 2 propositions cannot both be false at the same time, although they can both be true. 4. Subalternation, when the truth of the first proposition implies the truth of the second, but not the other way around. The definitions I just listed are great, but it's much easier to see what they really mean when we look at some examples. These examples help us to see the different types of propositions that can be involved in each of the relations. First, contradictory relation. This relation exists between universal affirmative and particular negative propositions. If all gas stations are dirty, UA is true, then some gas stations are not dirty, PN must be false. Conversely, if some gas stations are not dirty, PN is true, then all gas stations are dirty, UA must be false. This relation also exists between universal negative and particular affirmative propositions. If no t-shirt is stylish, UN is true, then some t-shirt is stylish, PA must be false. Conversely, if some t-shirt is stylish, PA is true, then no t-shirt is stylish, UN must be false. Second, contrary relation. This relation exists between universal affirmative and universal negative propositions. All children are cute, UA, and no children are cute, UN, cannot both be true. That said, both propositions can be false. It may be the case that some, but not all children are cute. Subcontrary relation. This relation exists between particular affirmative and particular negative propositions. Some amusement parks are free, PA, and some amusement parks are not free, PN, cannot both be false. However, both propositions have the potential to be true if we only lived in a more generous world than the one we actually live in. Subalternation. This relation exists between universal affirmative and particular affirmative propositions. If all chocolate desserts are delicious, UA is true. It implies that this chocolate dessert is delicious, PA is true. But be careful, if this chocolate dessert is delicious, PA is true, it does not necessarily mean that all chocolate desserts are delicious, UA is also true. This relation also exists between universal negative and particular negative propositions. If no teenagers are early risers, UN is true. It implies that some teenagers are not early risers, PN is also true. However, some teenagers are not early risers, PN being true, does not imply that no teenagers are early risers, UN is also true. These relations can get pretty hard to keep track of, but this is where the square of opposition, created in the Middle Ages but based on Aristotle's findings, comes in handy. This diagram allows us to take note of all the relations simultaneously. In the diagram, universal affirmative propositions are labeled with the letter A. Universal negative propositions are labeled with an E. Particular affirmative propositions are labeled with an I. Particular negative propositions are labeled with an O. These are all standard conventions. The different lines connecting these letters indicate the 4 types of relations listed above. As we discussed earlier, understanding the way that the 4 types of propositions function is crucial to understanding a lot of what we assert about the world around us. Moreover, understanding the relationships amongst these propositions helps us to see the patterns of arguments and reasoning that we commonly engage in, as well as where fallacies are likely to arise.